The increasingly dire economic impact of Israel's war on Gaza is a major factor behind Netanyahu's decision to pull troops out of the Gaza Strip. Now, this should not be mistaken as de-escalation of war by the Israeli government. In fact, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said that this move to demobilize some of their soldiers did not in any way suggest or compromise Israel's intention to continue fighting until it destroys Hamas, and the fighting across Gaza will remain intense. Hagari, who had said he expected warfare throughout this year, indicated that some troops would be called back to service in 2024, and reservists from at least 2 brigades will be sent home this week, the Israeli military said in a statement, and 3 of them will be taken back for scheduled training. Now, what the reality is that Israel doesn't really have a standing army. They have IDF soldiers who are basically reservists, but these are individuals who are working within the Israeli economy, in different professions, different jobs. And when they get called to war, they are taken out of those jobs in order to engage in military activity in the Gaza Strip. That has proven to be pretty disastrous for Israel's economy. Now, this move is expected to significantly alleviate economic burdens and enable them to gather strength for upcoming activities in the next year, the military said. The Israeli economy is expected to shrink by 2% this quarter. The Taub Center for Social Political Studies, a nonpartisan think tank in Israel, said in late December, as many left the labor force for reserve duty or abandoned businesses in their hometowns. And so that's definitely the main factor. So they're just going to basically, in my opinion, I'm just making a prediction here, resort back to the aerial bombardment of Gaza as opposed to having troops on the ground in addition to the aerial bombardments. And they're making very clear, hey, we're not de-escalating. We plan on being at war in Gaza for the remainder of the year. And remember, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has an interest, there's a conflict of interest, in fact, in dragging this war out as long as he can, because he knows that he's deeply unpopular in Israel. And the second the war is over, they're gonna get rid of him. So he has an interest in keeping this going. And final thing I'll say is that Israeli soldiers, IDF soldiers, are dying in the Gaza Strip, and obviously Israel doesn't want that to happen either when they can just do aerial bombardments of the Strip. Around 170 Israeli soldiers have been killed since the beginning of the ground invasion in late October. According to the Israeli military, roughly 29 were killed in accidents involving Israeli troops, such as friendly fire, the military said. The most sophisticated and competent military in the world. So there you have it.
Okay, couple things. First, I'm not sure which excuse is real. Maybe they both are, right? That Israel says, hey, this is hurting our economy and we got to get back to business. And America's saying behind the scenes, no, we're getting them to take it easy, right? And we're putting pressure on them to withdraw a little bit and not continue this war. Look, it's possible both are true. It's possible neither is true. But there is an internal contradiction here that no one's pointing out that you should be aware of. I have now read many articles some of which they say, Israel's withdrawing to become more surgical, as America has asked them to be in their strikes. And then they also explain, either in those articles or in other articles, that they're going to do more aerial bombardment. Wait a minute, those are in direct contradiction of one another. Are you going to be more surgical with special forces, as some of the articles claim, or are you going to do more indiscriminate aerial bombardments? So don't tell me that a 2,000-pound bomb is discriminate or an unguided bomb is discriminate. No, that's just murdering civilians, okay? So which one is it? Is it surgical or is it indiscriminate? So in other words, they're not really withdrawing at all. And my guess is, no, if they're worried about risking IDF soldiers' lives, let alone hurting their pocketbooks, they're not gonna send in more special forces. They're gonna do the thing that they're claiming they're gonna do, which is more bombs, which is less surgical. So the death and destruction and mayhem doesn't end. They just do it with even less cost to Israel. Now that leads me to another point, which is, are we supposed to be sympathetic to Israel's economy? Is that also terrorism? Like, these Palestinians, they've cost our economy 7 to 8% because we were so busy killing them. And so it's obviously their fault for hiding behind us having to kill all their civilians. And I was busy doing that instead of going and running my market in Tel Aviv, right? So I should have tremendous sympathy for how my economy has been slightly hurt because we were all so busy killing 22,000 Palestinian children and women and grandmothers, etc. No, sorry, on that one, you get no sympathy at all. So maybe you should consider, if that's the only thing Netanyahu cares about, maybe you should consider his economy the next time he decides to do a 56-year occupation and brutalize people forever and ever and ever, and then go, I can't believe my economy's down. Oh, wow, what a tragedy.
Well, why would he do that when he can have his cake and eat it too? When the US will supply him with the bombs that the IDF can drop remotely from the comfort of their own country.
Yeah.
Why not? That's what he's gonna do.
Is it terrorism when you kill civilians, or isn't it? That's a fundamental question we have to answer. Because if you say, no, it's only terrorism when a non-state actor does it, that privileges state violence. Anyone with any degree of rationality understands that. That says that if you're a government, you can kill anyone you like, including civilians, and you're never ever going to be called a terrorist. So obviously that can't be the standard, right? It has to be if you're actually killing civilians in a way that is untargeted. And by that definition, the government of Israel, the rational definition, has done minimum 20 times the terrorism of Hamas. So that's a fact. It could make you super uncomfortable, but it is. So now we're supposed to worry that their economy is down because they've been so busy murdering civilians in Palestine.
Yeah.
No, come on, guys, bounds of goddamn reason. So yeah, withdraw you've killed enough people. If you wanted revenge for October 7th, congratulations. You got 20 times the revenge, okay? What more do you want? Oh no, every person in Hamas has to surrender. Come on, get out of here. That's like saying, I don't want it to end. I just want to keep killing more civilians. You don't want it to end if you say the standard is everyone in Hamas must surrender and we must win completely. Now it's a ridiculous standard meant to excuse more murder and terrorism. Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below because that makes you a member, and members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.